With almost 500,000 lives on the death row annually as a result of fake medicines, how can the nation put a stop to this silent but fatal menace, potentially causing mass deaths, especially amongst children? How do we save the succeeding generations from this scourge of drugs? I'm delighted to have the Director General of the National Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye. She joins us now on Arise Prime Time. Glad to have you join us, DG.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Good. Why death penalty for drugs or for drug peddlers?
Why death penalty for drug peddlers?
Yeah, you're proposing that, yes.
Drugs are supposed to heal. Drugs are not supposed to kill. But drugs can kill if greedy merchants of death peddle drugs. Therefore, if something is given to another person to kill that person, I believe death penalty is deserving for such a person. You know, when you are ill, you don't say, oh, I'm going to go to a pharmacy 20 miles away. You just want to get the medicine quickly. And that is the way it's supposed to be. But if you then get that medicine and it's not making you to feel better, or if it is given to children and the children die, or a child dies, whoever makes that medicine should face death penalty. A child doesn't know when something is working or not working. An adult can say, oh yes, it's not making me feel good, I'm going to get another one. The child cannot complain. Therefore, death penalty is deserving. In NAFDAC, we have mother, child, newborn health and nutrition program. In fact, that is what we are calling MNCH year, where we are focusing on mother-child health products and nutritional products. Because some of these products are deliberately faked. I mentioned it recently that some products were bought in the coordinated wholesale center in Kano. 4 products for children. None of them had medicine after we tested it in Kaduna. To me, that is unquestionable in terms of what should happen. And that is one of the reasons why our judges must know that drugs kill. And they should react likewise when they are making their judgments. I hope I answered your question.
All right. One can understand the feeling of a mother when you talk about a child. And this, of course, is to disincentivize the perpetrators of this dastardly act, like I called it. But how far do you think this can go in achieving that? Particularly when you think about the fact that death penalty for such offenses as kidnapping, banditry, cattle rustling, and the like, we still see them rising, not abating.
Yeah, you are quite right. In terms of whether that will solve the problem, it's part of what will solve the problem. In NAFDAC, we have multi-strategic approaches. From preventing, from detecting, and from responding. That is our national plan. Prevent, detect, respond. How do you prevent? By sensitizing, by telling people, by making them to know that whatever they are handling, if it is medicine, they have to handle it carefully. The medicine content must be 100%, no compromise. It must be stored well. So that is part of preventing. Preventing is doing surveillance. in the market to ensure that before the medicine gets to the customer, it's moved away. Now, to detect, if we then go out, which is what we have been doing since 2019, we do national survey, go to different parts of the country and take samples and take it to our lab, our pre-qualified lab in Yaba. If we then detect that the medicine is fake, we go after. We go after the manufacturer or the market authorization holder. We shut their companies down, and we have done that. We do that routinely to few bad eggs. Right now, we are trying to prevent by going to the open markets. We started last year in Kano. There are 4 open markets: Kano, Aba, Idumota, and Onitsha. We did that of Kano last year. It was war. We are doing, as we speak, that of Idumota, Aba, and Onitsha simultaneously with NSA, National Security Advisor. We have over 700 security forces in those 3 states. Why? Because it's a national security issue. Bear in mind, it's not just medicines or food that NAFDAC regulates. We also regulate chemicals. Chemicals that can be made into bombs. So it is a security issue, national security issue, health security issue, and that's why NSA is partnering with us. So we are doing this simultaneous control of medicines in the open market. The open marketers are supposed to go to coordinated wholesale centers. That of Kano is already in place. We move them from the open market to the coordinated wholesale center in Kanawa, in Kano. For Idumata, for Abia, or for Abarada and Onitsha, we are trying to control before they get their coordinated wholesale centers. Because the lives of our people matter. Our lives matter. The life of a child matters, even if it's one child. That child could be a Nobel laureate in the future, and we don't want that child's life to be snuffed off because of bad medicine. So NAFDAC is all out as we speak. That is our biggest operation that that has ever happened in NAFDAC.
Kudos.
Because we want to safeguard the health of our people.
Kudos, fantastic for the job you're doing. But then there are those who say there's no convincing evidence, as it were, that this serves as an effective deterrent.
Yeah, you are quite right that people may say that. When I joined NAFDAC, the rate of substandard or prevalence was about 17%. From what we have done over the last 4 years, the average, I'm talking of the average, is about 13% or maybe 12%. So what we are doing is translating to reduction. However, we have porous borders. We have some containers that fly out of the customs. We have compromising market authorization holders or manufacturers. But we are resilient in terms of making sure that the sanction is stiff. We shut down a company for about 5 or 6 months, and they lost billions of naira. I'm so sorry for the company, but there's nothing we can do. We cannot open them when the drugs that they are making will compromise the health of somebody. So it is a multi-approach type of fighting that we are doing. We are using technology to monitor where our drugs are going. NAFDAC is the leading agency in Africa for using GS1 technology, barcoding technology, to monitor where drugs are going. We started that during the pandemic. We know where all our vaccines went. We have started that with narcotics. Now we are starting it now with children's products, pediatric products, maternal products, because technology will show us where drugs are. Once we enter such products into our traceability information system, TIS, we will know where that drug is going. So it is all strategic approach. Another one that I inherited that we have made better is pre-shipment. We approve drugs to be registered for 5 years. They are coming before it was 70% coming in. Now it's about 60% coming in because we want local content. A lot of our manufacturers, about 30% of our manufacturers are new manufacturers for the last 4 or 5 years, migrated to local manufacturing. But we still have importation. So if a product is approved, that product may be coming from China or India. We have pre-shipment testing. And we physically went there to check the laboratories where these products are being made. And we read the Riot Act for our clean report inspection analyst over there, that you want to trade with us in Nigeria, you better trade transparently. You don't trade transparently, we will blacklist you. We will deregister your product. You will not be able to trade with us because it's supposed to be mutual. It's supposed to be mutual. It's not one-sided. So the pre-shipment for that particular scheme, we have stopped over 180 products from coming into the country. We have stopped them, and these are products that were approved based on what we saw when we went for inspection, what we saw on paper. But you approve for X, unscrupulous importers may do X minus, now X minus.
You've touched on a very important issue. Let me just stop you there a little bit. The question of, I alluded to that at the beginning, my introduction, proliferation. One would ask, why the proliferation in the first place? The borders, shouldn't that be where this should be tackled? Because if you can close the point of entry or stop people, like you said, prevention before detection, then you will be talking about death penalty. You can nip it in the bud. So what is really causing this proliferation? And can't we tackle it at the point of entry or preventing people from engaging in this?
You have a great point. Part of our national action plan is having strategic partnership. We've signed an MOU with customs. We are working closer now than ever with customs, where they will alert us, or we monitor all the shipments that are coming, but they have to go through customs first. And customs over the years have worked with us, but with this MOU, it's going to do wonders. It's going to do wonders because anybody can take bad medicine, including me, including the customs CG, anybody in the country. So it is our problem. So we are working closely with customs. It's a strategic partnership. We have signed an MOU with NDLEA so that we work together and put Nigeria first. Nigeria first, not NAFDAC first, not customs first. What is good for our people? Our motto in NAFDAC is customer-focused, agency-minded. You are customer-focused, agency-minded, it means you love Nigeria. And you love Nigeria, you will love your fellow human being. So this is another thing, working at the customs.
Okay, fantastic. Let me see if I can get in these two questions because of time. One is 110 to 130 countries have abolished the death penalty. Sierra Leone, the latest to do that. And then in the country, the challenge, if this in any way goes through, is the fact that governors are very reluctant to sign death warrants. How do you deal with that?
Well, you know, I'm a mother, a scientist, and I know drugs can kill. It is all about deterrent. It is all about deterrent. Somebody violated the our NAFDAC rule, the medicine can kill somebody, and you give that person 5 years in jail or 250,000 naira fine. To me, that's weak. That is weak. We've got to strengthen this or make the penalty very, very stiff. So it's not necessarily for everybody. You go death.
Yeah, so I'm saying
you have death penalty, but if the sentencing is long, fine.
Fine, yeah, because that's what Adeyeye and Ozekome say. They say a life sentence, when the person comes out, he's practically a vegetable. So, I mean, that should be, and then you have to contend with this violates Nigeria's obligation under the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights as well. So maybe life sentencing.
Well, it is in our constitution in Nigeria. Some people may not want it, but there are some offenses that deserve death penalty. If somebody kills another person and that person is not repentant, maybe that person should be killed also. If the person has opportunity to repent, yes. To change their lives back, yes. But if it is not, why should we allow somebody to be killing others in the country? It's a philosophical question.
Yeah, well, and then you have to also contend with, again, there's this question of wrongful convictions, you know, the fear of convicting people wrongly and then maybe signing a death warrant and someone dies who wasn't supposed to die. This, what, you know, people like Amnesty International are fighting against death penalty.
Well, actually, in terms of use of bad medicine, we have laboratories. We can also not just rely on our laboratory, we can do inter-laboratory proficiency testing. We send it to other labs. It is science. Science doesn't lie. If it is there that this medicine or this particular product has nothing inside it, that's not a wrongful conviction. It is a deserving conviction.
All right, we'll leave it there. The DG, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye of NAFDAC, thank you for being on Arise Prime Time. Thank you so much.